Hello and very welcome to my all foodie or food technologist guys. Okay, so myself Professor Vivi Uttarwar from KK College of Food Technology, Nashik. Okay, so today's chapter is regarding nutritional composition of legumes and oilseed. Already we have gone through morphology of legumes and oilseed, nothing but the structural composition of legumes and oilseed. So now we'll go for nutritional composition of legumes and oilseed. So here uh, we are going to see what type of nutrient available, that is micro and macronutrient, which type of macro and micronutrient available in legumes. So basically whatever the composition of legumes and oilseed, it is depend on the location where they are grown and the soil fertility, type of soil, and after that various environmental factor affect the nutritional composition of legumes. So all should must know that. Okay, so basically they are having good content of protein, that's why it called as poor man's meat. Okay, the legumes are called as poor man's meat. So the combination of cereals and legumes provide a very good balance of amino acid also. So we'll see one by one what are them. The first one is carbohydrate. So the carbohydrate includes mono, tri, oligo and polysaccharides. So everyone is well known about this. Then the starch is abundant in legume. Carbohydrate varies from 24 to 56%. Total sugar represents a small percentage of total carbohydrate in dry legume seed. Among the sugars, oligosaccharides of raffinose family of sugar account significant percentage of total sugars. Okay, so the whatever oligosaccharides are available in carbohydrate or in legumes, they are they are as like the verbascose, stachiols, ajuos and raffinose. So we will see what type of example we have regarding these oligosaccharides. Okay, so the verbascose found in black gram, red gram, mung bean. Stachiols in found in kidney beans, soya beans, then cowpea. Then there is ajugos. So it is also a type of oligosaccharide from raffinose family. So it found in smooth or wrinkled peas also. And raffinose, it is available in most of the legumes. Okay, so basically these uh, high molecular weight oligosaccharides, they are causing flatulence in stomach when we consume these legumes, and it creates some discomfort to the people also, because they are not easily digestible. Next there is a proteins. Which type of proteins are available in legumes? Okay, so the legume proteins are of primarily two types: enzymatic metabolic, enzymatic or metabolic, and say structural proteins. So the both are found in legumes, which are responsible for normal cellular activities including the synthesis of structural proteins and storage protein. Storage proteins are relatively small in number and account for 70% of seed nitrogen. Storage protein occurs within the cell in discrete protein bodies. The protein or content in legume is governed by the genotype and environmental condition under which they are grown. And second thing, there are amino acids. So we'll see one which type of amino acids are available. Generally, all of you know that legumes are rich in lysine and cereals are rich in methionine. Okay, so the cotyledon of legumes, generally they are having good content of amino acids. Then the seed coat are poor in amino acids. Also embryo contains methionine and tryptophan, but it contributes only about 2.5% of their total quantity in the seed. The environmental factor under which food legumes are grown, they influences amino acid composition also. So whatever environmental factor, they affects the amino acid composition. The application of phosphorus, molybdenum and nitrogen has also been shown to increase the level of methionine. The application of sulfur containing fertilizer increases the cysteine content of bengal gram protein. Okay, so like that there are some amino acids are available. The tryptophan is also available in legumes. Next thing, fat or lipid content of legumes. So the food legume in general have higher concentration of lipids than the cereal. As we know, we are categorizing it as a oil seeds. So the total lipid content of legumes varies with variety, origin, climate, location, as well as seasonal and environmental condition and type of soil in which they are grown. Lipids are heterogeneous group which includes fatty acid, mono, dry, dry acyl glycerides, phospholipids, sterols, glycolipids, and lipoproteins. So these are some categories of lipids. So in general, legume seed contains about 1 to 7% of fat or lipid. Some exceptional cases are there, like peanut is there, soybean is there. So the peanut are having about 40% lipid content, then soybean having 20% of lipid content. So such grains or such varieties of legume, they are classified as a oil seed. In mature legume, a major portion of lipid are stored in oil bodies or spiriosomes or lipid containing vesicles in the cotyledons. Most legume lipids containing high amount of essential fatty acid, linolenic and linoleic acid are the most important essential fatty acid required for growth, physiological function and body maintenance. Legume seed lipid varies with fatty acid composition. So distribution of different lipid like neutral lipid, phospholipid, glycolipids in legume seed varies with the species and also the variety of that legume. So the phospholipid and glycolipid are essential component of cell membrane. Okay. Our next parameter is crude fiber. So these are crude fibers are nothing but they are roughage which contains cellulose or hemicellulose. The combination of cellulose or hemicellulose nothing but crude fiber. So the legumes are having good amount or appreciable amount of fiber in them. So the cellulose is major component which is found in smooth and wrinkled peas also, then navy beans, kidney beans, etc. And hemicellulose found in red gram, black gram. Okay. So the dietary fiber involves in the lowering of blood cholesterol level present in seed coat, hence unhulled should be preferred. Cellulose are least digestible compound. Okay. Next thing, that is vitamin. So the vitamins, there are some type of vitamins or legumes are good source of vitamins like thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, then folic acid. So the thiamine content is approximately equivalent to the slight exceeds than the whole cereals. Dry legumes are almost devoid of ascorbic acid. The vitamin disappears after long storage. The uncorticated legumes containing vitamin E, tocopherol, in somewhat larger amounts than the whole cereals. Means the amount is as like cereals, but when they are uncorticated or they are unhulled. Okay. Next thing, we have mineral content in legumes. So the food legumes are good source of minerals such as calcium, iron, copper, zinc, potassium, magnesium, as most of they are present in legumes. Okay. So the potassium contributes about 25 to 30% of total mineral content of legumes. Legumes are considerably richer in calcium than most cereal. Calcium values vary widely within the species in relation to the factors such as variety, climate, cultural methods, and the mineral content of soil. Legumes contains a significant amount of phosphorus also. This is largely present. Phytic acid through its level can be reduced by processing. As we all of you as all of you known about that phytic acid is prepared from phosphorus, 6 compound of phosphorus group. So the phytic acid affects the absorption and utilization of calcium through its precipitation as insoluble salts. That's why it's called as anti-nutritional factor, and we have to remove that phytic acid or phytates from the legume. Okay. So the what are the factors affecting mineral utilization? The first thing, that is digestibility of food containing minerals. Second, processing conditions. Third, chemical form of minerals. And fourth one is the presence of anti-nutritional factor. So these are some factors which affect their utilization of minerals. Processing conditions are there, chemical form of minerals. Sometimes chemical forms minerals form complex or salts with a phytic acid. That's why they are unable to use by the body. Then the presence of anti-nutritional factor, as I had given example about phytic acid or phytates. So these are nothing but they are anti-nutritional factors. Okay. So the dietary components such as phytic acid, oxalic acid, polyphenols and complex polysaccharides such as starch, crude fiber are known to interact with minerals and reduces their bioavailability to our body. So the next we'll see distribution of nutrient in the seed component. So now we have gone through what is available or how much component or macronutrients available in legumes, but now we will see where they are distributed in seed. Okay. So the food legumes are consumed as a whole seed, splits, or after the removal of seed coat and embryo. So the distribution of nutrient in different seed fraction calculated on the percent of whole seed. Major percent of ash, protein, iron, phosphorus is present in cotyledons, whereas 80 to 90% of crude fiber and 32 to 50% calcium are present in seed coat. The embryo contains very little, about 3% of this constituent, and account for the insignificant part of total food value of whole seed. Although the embryo is rich in nutrient, it is a smallest proportionally, that is 0.99 to 2.3%. The seed coat, although large in proportion than embryo, is lower in constituent with the exception of crude fiber and calcium. The cotyledons are major, that is 83.9%, and most balanced component and account for almost the entire food value of seed. Thus, the removal of seed coat and embryo during milling would apparently not affect the food value of all pulses. Different protein fraction based on solubility. The globulin, the major protein fraction of embryo and cotyledons; albumin, fraction of cotyledon, which contains higher concentration of sulfur containing amino acids; and methionine and cysteine. Okay, so like that there is some configuration of or distribution of nutrient in seed component. Here in the picture you can see morphology or structure of legumes, or second thing there is a peanut is showing which is oil seed for us. Okay, so like that there is a nutritional composition of legumes and oil seed is given through this video. Please like and share and comment your doubts. Okay, thank you so much all of you.